We are looking at chapter number 10, light reflection and refraction. We are taking the board question and answer. So the question answer on light reflection and refraction. A concave lens, focal length of 20 centimeter. At what distance from the lens a 5 centimeter tall object, this is 5 centimeter tall object, this is to be placed so that it forms an image 50 centimeter from the lens. Also calculate the size of image being formed. So how to do this? See, the f is given as minus 20 centimeter. Why? Because this is a concave lens. Focal length is minus 20 we are taking. The h0, or you can say this height of the object is 5 centimeter. And since the image is being formed at 50 centimeter from the lens, so we are taking it as negative. These are certain signs we need to follow. These are sign conventions we have already studied in our theory. So the formula will be 1 by f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u, because it is a lens. We are talking about a lens, not a mirror. So 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. All these value you can put. We need to find u, 1 by u. V and f are known. So we put the required value, we get u. Now the magnification is given by the height of the image by height of object, which is simply v by u. So in order to find the height of the image, we can multiply this, which we just found. So just multiply it. V and u are already, v and h0 are already known to us. This is h0 and v is already known to us, and this u we just found out. Put it here, we get 1.25 centimeter. The image is small. As you see, it is diminished and it is virtual. An object 50 centimeter tall is placed on the principal axis of convex lens. Now this is a lens, convex lens. Its 20 centimeter tall image is formed on the screen placed at a distance of 10 centimeter from the lens. We have to calculate the focal length of the lens. We have to find the f. So what all is given to us? The height of the image, which is your h dash, we will take it as minus 20 centimeter. And height of the object, h, this is tall, object is 50 centimeter. The image distance is also given, which is 10 centimeter, which is 10 centimeter from the lens. So we take it as 10 centimeter. The magnification, we know that this is h dash by h, or you can say the height of the image by height of the object is given by v by u. We need to find u. U can be found out by, this is 10, this is 50, this is minus 20, and you get u equal to minus 25. Now we will apply the lens formula. 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. In order to find f, we'll put the value, and this comes to be 50 by 7 centimeter, which is 7.14 centimeter. Draw the ray diagram in each of the case to show the position and nature of the image formed when the object is placed at the center of curvature of a concave mirror. So we are talking about a mirror here. So when we are putting the object, we have to find out the position and the nature of the image. When the object is placed at the center of curvature, and this is a concave mirror. So what will the nature of the image? It will be, see, one will come like this and one will be parallel to this, and they intersect. This is AB and this is A dash B dash at center of curvature. So it is real, it is inverted, and the sizes are exactly same. So the same size is formed at the center of curvature. Between the pole P and focus F of concave mirror. Now this is center of curvature, this is focus, now this is pole. So we are putting it in between the F and P, that is the focus and the pole. So when you put here, see, this will bend like this. This will be, so we joined it here, it is A dash B dash. As you see, this is the image being formed, this is virtual, it is enlarged, larger than this one, and erect image, which is formed behind, this is behind the mirror. Now in front of a convex mirror. Now this is a convex mirror. So we are putting it in front of a convex mirror. One will go like this, we send like this. At the pole it will go like this, we combine these two, this is the image. So this image is virtual, it is erect, it is smaller, so diminished, and it is formed behind the mirror at 2f of a convex lens. So now we are on to convex lens. So this is a convex lens. Convex lens is like this. This is f and this is 2f. Now we are putting it at 2f. One will go like this, exactly pass through f, which pass through the center, that is P, will be going directly, and they will intersect here, it will be A dash B dash. Now here the nature of the image is real, it is inverted, and the size to size, that is this size and this size will be equal, both will be of the same size in front of a concave lens. So this is a concave lens. This kind of lens is a concave lens. So this is a concave lens. Now we are putting it here. This will be refracted to come back. That passes through the center, will go directly. So this is the image being formed. This is a virtual image, erect image, and smaller diminished image, which is formed between this O and F on the same side of the object. A light ray IM, this light ray is incident on the surface AB as shown here. We have to identify the correct emergent ray. Which will be the correct emergent ray? Whether it will be this one or this one, which one will this be? Say, only if we draw an imaginary line, and because it is going to refract and come out of this. So which, this NR, NQ and NP, we have to choose one of these which is parallel to this IMS, you can say. So because this is ray NQ which is parallel to this OS, this NS is the actual direction of the emergent ray. A refractive indices of 4 media A, B, C and D, these are given. If light travels from one medium to another, in which case the change in speed will be minimum and it will be maximum. So these are the refractive index. Refractive index just shows that how much it is going to bend. So the minimum changes will be seen between 1.50 and 1.52 because the difference is very less, that is B and C. And if you see 1.33 and 2.40, if you find out the difference, it is the largest distance. So the maximum change when light moves from this medium to this medium, A to D, because if you subtract them, the value will be higher. If we subtract these two, the value will be lower. So bending will be also lower. The refractive index of diamond is 2.42. What is the meaning of this statement in relation to the speed of the light? See, the refractive index is 2.42 and we know what is V, C by N, and N is 2.42, that is refractive index. C by mu, you can say mu is, or N, sometimes it is used in various books. This means that the speed of light in diamond is 2.42, 1 by 2.42 times the speed of the light in the free space. Okay, that is mu 0 by mu r equal to N. That is how we speak. Redraw the given diagram and show the path of the refracted rays. So what is happening here is it will just pass through, because it is passing through the center of the lens. It will just pass through, nothing is going to happen. It will just pass through in the straight line. Redraw the given diagram and show the path of the refracted rays. So what will happen? When it goes like this, whenever a ray is passing through F1 or F2, it is going to be, when it comes out, it will be parallel to the axis. So this will be parallel to the axis. So this is parallel to the axis. These two will be, this and this will be parallel, because it is passing through this focus. Draw the following diagram in your answer book and show the formation of image of the object AB with the help of suitable rays. So we have to find out what will be the result of AB and what will be the image being formed because of AB, and this is a formation, and we need to know that when we pass it parallel, it will pass through the focus, and when we pass it through P, it is going to come like this. There will be a image being formed here, as you see here. This will go through focus, and this will be angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. So because of this concave mirror, they will combine like this, A dash B dash. Next is, what kind of mirrors are used in the headlights of motor car and why? Concave mirror are used as the headlights of motor car. Why? We want to get the parallel beam of light as far as possible. Explain with the help of diagram why a pencil partly immersed in water appears to be bent at the water surface. Not even pencil, if you dip or immerse a scale or anything like that, you will be observing, experiencing there is a bend. See, light from different points on the pencil which is immersed in the water refracts, and it appears to come from a point which is above the original position. So if you are a viewer, from this point it is going to come like this, from this point it is going to come like this. So there is when it comes out, it is some bending. When it comes out, it is some bending, because this is a water medium, this is an air medium. So there will be a refraction when it comes out, right? So you will see a pencil which is partly immersed has to be bent in the water surface. Draw a ray diagram to represent the nature, position and relative size of the image formed by a convex lens for the object which is placed at 2f1 and between f1 and the optical center of the lens. First we will talk about 2f1. So when it is placed at 2f1, the parallel will go through f1, and at the pole it will go like straight. So this will be the form. This will be the image being formed. So the nature of the image is real. It is real. It is inverted, and it is size to size. Both sizes are same, and the position is at 2f1. If it start with 2f1, it will be like this. It will be again at this position only. Between f1 and the optical center O of lens. So when we are putting it in between this f1 and O, the straight will go like this, as it appearing that it is going to pass through f1. And the center one will go directly like this, right? So when it combines, it will be an enlarged image. So this is virtual, erect and enlarged image, and this will be on the same side of the lens. This is the result. A ray of light incident obliquely on a face of rectangular glass slab placed in air emerges from the opposite face parallel to the incident ray. State two factors on which the lateral displacement of the emergent ray depends. Now the answer here is the lateral displacement. It depends on the angle of incidence I, the thickness of the slab, what is the thickness of the slab, and the refractive index of the material, right? These are the deciding factors. An object 2 cm in size is placed 30 cm in front of a concave mirror of focal length this. At what distance from the mirror should a screen be placed in order to obtain a sharp image? What will be the nature and size of the image being formed? Draw a ray diagram to show the formation of the image in this case. So same question we have already seen, but we'll see we'll place the sign as per the sign conventions. So since it is a focal length concave mirror, so we will take it as -15, and the object is of size 2 cm, so h0 is 2 cm. The u, because it is placed in front of the concave mirror, we take u equal to -30. 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. See, it's a concave mirror. 1 by f will be equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. So we are using the formula of concave mirror. We put the value and v will be equal to -30. So now the screen should be placed at a distance of 30 cm on the same side of the object in order to obtain a sharp image. And the second part is, see, let me show you. that when you place it here, the parallel will go through F and the F will go parallel. So when they combine, this will be the image being formed. So since the magnitude of V and U, the V, see, V is minus 30, mu is minus 30. If you take the magnitude, it will be 30, and this is equal to 2F. 2 into 15 is 30. So when they are same, this means that the object is placed at the center of curvature. That is why we placed it here of a concave mirror. The image which is formed is at the center of curvature again, which is real, inverted, and the same size of the object as the object. An object 2 cm high is placed at a distance of 64 cm from the wide screen. On placing a convex lens at a distance of 32 cm from the object, it is found that the distinct image of the image is formed on the screen. What is the focal length f of the convex lens and the size of the image formed on the screen? Draw a ray diagram to show the formation of the image in this position of the object with respect to the lens. See, the question will put the values as per the question. Since the question says that the object screen distance is double of the object lens separation, the object is at a distance of 2f from the lens, and the image should be of the same size of the object, that is 2f equal to 32, which is being given in the question, right? So f becomes 16, and height of the object and height of the image is equal to the same, so it is 2 cm. See, if you place it at 2f, this parallel will go through f, and the anything which goes through center will pass directly, so it will be formed at 2f. Sizes are same. A convex lens has a focal length of 10 cm. At what distance from the lens should the object be placed so that it forms a real and inverted image 20 cm away from the lens? What would be the size of the image formed if the object is 2 cm high? With the help of ray diagram, show the formation of the image by the lens in this case. So this is the convex lens. Now what all are given according to the sign conventions? The f is 10 cm, which is this one. V is given as 20 cm, right? As the image is shown or given as real and inverted, so we took it as plus. Height of the object 2 cm is given. Let us assume it to be positive, so we'll apply the lens formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So we get 1, we have to find u, so just put the value, find the value of u, which is minus 20 cm, and we observe that that is equal to 2 into f. So the object is placed at 2f. The image is also formed at 2f, as we all saw in the previous questions, but on the other side of the lens. So the image will be of the same size as the object, that is u is equal to v. So the height of the image will be same. If it was 2 cm, the height of the image will also be 2 cm. It is desired to obtain an erect image of an object using a concave lens of focal length 20 cm. What would be the range of the distance of the object from the mirror? So we'll do it one by one. The range, because it is desired to obtain an erect image using a concave mirror of focal length. So this is the concave lens we are talking about, concave mirror we are talking about, sorry. So the range of the object is 0 to 20, from 0 to 20, that is from the pole. And the second part is, will the image be bigger or smaller from the object? If you see here, if it is here between O and F, so when we have a line or ray which is parallel to the axis, this will appear to pass through F, and which is passing through this P will have angle of incidence, angle of refraction equal, and if we extend it on the other side, this will be the image which is of larger size. So image will be of a large or bigger size than the object, and this is the ray diagram. Second is 1/2. Half means if this is a lens, 1/2 of this is covered with black paper. So this is covered with black paper. Will the lens produce a complete image of the object? Show the formation of the image of the object placed at 2f1 of such covered lens with the help of a ray diagram. how will the intensity of the image which is formed by half covered lens compared with the non-covered lens? So what will happen? See, there will be a complete image in the conclusion, means complete image will be formed. How? See, when we are putting it at 2f1 and we are passing rays, it will pass through f1. Sometimes if we just bend it on the other side of the parallel rays, it is going to pass through this only. Now the intensity will be reduced because the light which is falling on the lower, that is covered portion, will not reach the position of the image. So there will be a you can say decrement in the intensity. Redraw the diagram given below in your answer book and show the direction of light ray after reflection from the mirror. So what will happen here? It will reflect, but as it is parallel to the axis, principal axis, it will appear that it is coming from the focus. Redraw the diagram in your answer sheet and show the direction of the light ray after reflection from the mirror. So now as this ray is passing through F and now connecting to the mirror, this will be parallel to the axis. It will be parallel to the axis. Redraw the diagram given in your answer book and show the direction of light ray after reflection from the mirror. Now what is happening here is, it is coming like this, and when it is appearing that it will touch or pass through F, that means it has to reflect parallel to the axis, principal axis, as it is appearing that it is going to go through F. Redraw the diagram below in your answer book and show the direction of light ray after refraction from the lens. So what will happen here? This will refract, but it will appear that it is coming from the focal point F. Why? Because it is parallel to the principal axis, and whenever a line or a ray is parallel to axis, it is going to appear that it is coming from F, or if it is a mirror, it will reflect and pass through this F. Why does a ray of light bend when it travels from one medium to another? Why this happens? Because of the change in the velocity or the difference of the velocity in different medium. In different medium, the light travels with different speed. So there is a reduction in the time taken to travel, and therefore you see there is a bending, or there is a movement from the actual line of entering to the another medium. Redraw the diagram given below in your answer book and show the direction of light ray after refraction from the lens. Now what will happen? As it is appearing that it is going to go at F, this will be going parallel, or it will be bending parallel to the principal axis. What is the minimum number of rays required for locating the image formed by a concave mirror for an object? Draw a ray diagram to show the formation of virtual image by a concave mirror. So there are two rays which are required, minimum 2 rays are required. So here is a diagram of the image being formed, or you can say a virtual image being formed by a concave mirror. Now this object is placed between F and P, right? F and P, focal point, and this P. Now one is going directly or parallel to the axis, principal axis. It will appear that it is going this side, but it will come or pass through F. The other one, which is intersecting at P, will appear going again back to this one. Angle of incidence equal to angle of reference, the angle of incidence equal to angle of reflection. Now it is appearing that it is coming from this point only. So this A dash and B dash, this is the final virtual image formed by concave mirror. The refractive index of water is 1.33 and the speed of light is this much. 3 into 10 to the power 8. Calculate the speed of light in water. So we know that the refractive index is n, or mu is given by speed of the light in vacuum divided by speed of the light in medium, that is C by, you can say, V. So C is given in the question, and if we want to find out V, we can put n here and V on the other side. So 3 into 10 to the power 8 by 1.33, this is the speed of light in water. The refractive index of glass is 1.5, and the speed of light in air is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Calculate the speed of light in glass. Again, with the same discussion we had, we will divide the speed of light in vacuum, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 by 1.50, because the refractive index is nothing but the speed of light in vacuum divided by speed of the light in the medium. Here it is given as glass. So we divide them, this is the value. For which position of the object does a convex lens form a virtual and erect image? Explain with the help of a ray diagram. So this is the ray diagram. When the object is placed between the focus and the optical center, this is the focus and this is the optical center. When it is placed here in between, a virtual erect image is formed. So what will happen? One ray which is parallel to this axis will pass through the F, the other focus, and it will appear, we will extend it on the other side. One which is passing directly through the optical center will come back, or is appearing, will extend it in the opposite direction. This is the point A dash B dash, or this is the image which is we are talking about. So the position of the object should be between the focal or focus or optical center. The position of the image is on the same side of the lens, as you see here, both are on the same side of the lens. And the nature of the image is virtual, see the dotted line, erect, because it is not like this, it is upwards in the same way AB was, and because there is a difference in height, it is enlarged. Explain why a ray of light passing through the center of curvature of a concave mirror gets reflected along the same path. So the ray which is passing through the center of curvature incident to the mirror along its normal. That is why we know that the INR, the ray retraces its path, because the angle of incidence is is 0, so angle of the reflection will also be 0. So INR both are 0. That is why when it say is passing through the center of curvature, then it will just take the same path and retract again. Retract back, you can say retract back. What is the nature of the image found by concave mirror if the magnification produced by the mirror is +3? So the positive sign here shows the magnification, indicates that the image is virtual +3. This means it is virtual, erect and enlarged 3 times. Between which 2 points of a concave mirror should an object be placed to obtain a magnification of -3? Now here the negative sign -3, negative sign is indicated, or magnification is indicating the image is real and inverted, and also the size of the image is enlarged. So the object must be positioned between F and 2F, that is at C. The refractive index of carbon disulfide is 1.63. What is the meaning of this statement in relation to the speed of light? So this means the speed of light in carbon disulfide is 1 by 1.63 times the speed of the light in free space. That is 3 into 10 to the power 8 is the speed of light in vacuum, and the speed of light in carbon disulfide is this much. The outer surface of hollow sphere of aluminium of radius 50 cm is to be used as a mirror. What will be the focal length of the mirror? Which type of spherical mirror will it provide? So the answer is F equal to R by 2, that is 25 cm. It will form a convex mirror. Between which 2 points related to concave mirror should an object be placed to obtain a screen and image twice the size of the object? So the answer is between F and C you will get a real image. How should a ray of light be incident on a rectangular glass slab so that it comes out from the opposite side of the slab without being displaced? So what will happen? Along the normal to the surface or at an incident angle of I equal to 0. So this is a slab. Now if you send it like this, right, incident, it will come out like this. It will bend and it will come like this. They both are parallel. But if you send it like this along the normal, then the scenario will be what is being asked in the question. Angle of incidence has to be 0. A girl was playing with a thin beam of light from her laser torch by directing it from different directions of convex lens held vertically. Now she was surprised to see that a particular direction in the beam of light continues to move along the same direction after passing through the lens. State the reason for this observation. The answer is the ray of light which is passing through the optical center of the convex lens. This will continue to move along the same direction even after refracting through the lens. A ray of light enters a rectangular slab of refractive index 1.5. It is found that the ray emerges from the opposite side of the slab without being displaced. If the speed of air in the vacuum, you can say, is 3 into 10 to the power 8, then what is the speed in glass? So here we know that n equal to c by v. This is the speed of light in vacuum or air, and this is the speed of light in the medium. This is refractive index. So if in order to find v, you have to divide c by n. C is given like this, n is 1.5. So this is the velocity or speed in the medium. The speed of light in a transparent medium is 0.6 times that of the speed in vacuum. What is the refractive index of the medium? Now n is given by c by v. Now if c is the speed of light, this is the speed of light in vacuum. The second thing which is given is in the medium it is 0.6 c, 0.6 into the speed in the vacuum. So we can write v as 0.6 c. So c by 0.6 c, c gets cancelled. You get 1 by 0.6, which is eventually 1.67, and which is nothing but the refractive index in that medium. In an experiment with a rectangular glass slab, a student observed that a ray of light incident at an angle of 55 degrees with the normal on one face of the slab after refraction strike the opposite face of the slab before emerging out into air, making an angle of 40 degrees with the normal. Draw a label diagram to show the path of this ray and what value would you assign to the angle of refraction and angle of emergence. So this is the scenario here. This is an experiment with a rectangular glass slab. A student observed that a ray of light which is incident here at an angle of 55 degree. So angle of incidence, this I is 55 degree with a normal, right? On one face of the slab after refraction, now there is some refraction, strikes the opposite face before emerging out into the air, making an angle of 40 degree. So this R2 is 40 degree. Now this angle is 40 degree. This is 55 degree. This is the label diagram. What value would you assign to the angle of refraction and angle of emergence? Now what will happen here is this OA is the incident ray, I is the angle of incidence, and we are given R2 as 40 degree. So this R1 and R2, these are what? These are alternate interior angles. These two lines are parallel and these two are alternate interior angles. So if this is 40, this has to be 40. And this is 55, right? Now, so the angle of refraction will be what? It will be 40 degree. And since the emergent ray, this ray will be always parallel to this ray. Since the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray, the angle of emergence must be equal to the angle of incidence. That is, this E has to be equal to 55 degree. Because I has to be equal to E, 55 degree, 55 degree. At what distance should an object be placed from a convex lens of focal length 18 cm to obtain an image 24 cm from it on the other side? What is the magnification produced in this case? So f is given as 18 cm as the question is given about the focal length, and the object where to be placed, distance. Now V is also given 24, so we will use the convex lens formula 1 by f equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So 1 by U is given by 1 by V minus 1 by f. We'll put these two values, we get U equal to minus 72 centimeter. Now this shows that the object should be kept at a distance of 72 centimeter on the left side of the convex lens. Negative sign shows that. What is the magnification? V by U is the magnification. V is given in the question as 24. U is minus 72, so it is minus 1 by 3. So the image is inverted, it is real, and it is diminished. How far should an object be placed from a convex lens of focal length 20 cm to obtain its image at a distance of 30 cm from the lens? What will be the height of the image if the object is 6 cm tall? So here again certain things are given. Focal length is 20 cm, so plus 20 cm. The V is 30 cm. So the convex lens is there, so we'll use 1 by f equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. We have to find this U, so we'll put the value, we'll find U as minus 60. Now this shows that the object should be placed at a distance of 60 cm on the left side of the convex lens. Now the magnification is what? This height of the image by height of the object, which is essentially equal to V by U. So we need to find this H of the image. So HO will take it here. V and U we know, one is 30, one is minus 60, and this HO is 6. So this is equal to minus 3. And this negative sign shows that the image is inverted and it is real. The image of an object placed at 60 cm in front of a lens is obtained on a screen at a distance of 120 cm from it. Find the focal length of the lens and what would be the height of the image if the object is 5 cm high. So the question is, U is given as minus 60, V is given as 120. We'll use the formula, and which is for the lens, it is 1 by f equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. These two we will put it here. F will be 40 cm. Magnification is given by V by U, which is equal to height of image by height of object. Now height of image has to be found, just take it here. V by U into HO. HO is 5, that is height of object is 5 given. And V and U, of course, we know this V and U. So we'll put these values and we get 10 cm. State the two laws of reflection of light. So if this is the incident light, this is the normal to the plane, and this is the reflected light. This is the reflected light, this is incident light. This is angle of inclination or incidence. This is angle of reflection, and this is of course the normal to this plane. So what it says, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. These two are equal, and the incident ray and the reflected ray and the normal, they lie in the same plane, or they lie on the same plane. Define and show on a diagram the following terms relating to a concave mirror, aperture and radius of curvature. So if this is a concave mirror, the diameter of the reflecting surface of the mirror is called the aperture. So this is the aperture. If it is like this, say this is a part. So when you make it as a circle, so this diameter we are talking about. So the diameter of the reflecting surface of a mirror is called the aperture. In this case, if this is the mirror, this is the aperture from this point to this point. And what about the radius of curvature? The radius of curvature or radius of the sphere of which the reflecting surface of the spherical mirror forms a part is called the radius of curvature. So see, if this is from this point to this point, we have a mirror. Okay, and this forms a part of this circle. So what is the radius? This is the radius, and this is nothing but the radius of curvature. Define the focus of a concave mirror. If the radius of curvature of a convex mirror is 30 cm, what would be the focal length? So the point in the principal axis where all the rays parallel to it meet after reflection, this is known as the focus. In the question, R is given as 30 cm. F is always given by R by 2. So what is F? 30 by 2, which is 15 cm for a convex mirror. Distinguish between real and virtual image of an object. What type of image is formed by a plane mirror on a cinema screen? So if the light rays after reflection converge to a point to form an image on its own, this is called a real image. Again, if the light rays after reflection they converge to a point to form an image on its own, there is no virtuality involved, it is called a real image. If the rays are diverging, then they form a virtual image. So real image can be obtained on a screen while a virtual image cannot. So the plane mirrors forms a virtual image while the real image is formed on the cinema screen. Draw a ray diagram and also state the position, the relative size and the nature of the image formed by a concave mirror when the object is placed at the center of curvature of the mirror. So this is the scenario. We have placed the object at the center of curvature of the mirror, concave mirror this is. So one is going parallel to the axis, it has to pass through F. One is passing through the F, that means it has to be parallel. When it reflects, it will be parallel to the axis. So this AB and this is the point of intersection. This AB and A, B and A dash, B dash, they are exactly same. So the position of the object is at C. What is the position of the image? Exactly same position, that is C. And the nature of the image, as you see, this is dotted. So it is real, inverted and of the same size, because the same rays, two rays are making that image, that is why it is real, and it is upside down, so it is inverted, and the size of course is same. Define the refractive index of a transparent medium. What is the unit? Which has a higher refractive index, mu, glass or water. So the ratio of speed of light in the free space, or you can say in vacuum, to the speed of light in given medium, this is medium and this is vacuum, is known as the refractive index. The mu or refractive index N is given by C by V. This is C, speed of light in this vacuum, and this is speed of light in the medium. It has no unit because both this is also speed, this is also speed. It is dimensionless quantity, and glass has more refractive index than water. A ray of light passing in air enters obliquely into water. Does the light ray bend towards or away from the normal? Why? Draw a ray diagram to show the refraction of light in this situation. So this light bends towards the normal because water is denser than the air. The medium is denser, it is going to bend towards the normal. If the medium is not denser, it is sparse, so it is going to move away from the normal. So in this case, we have a medium here. This is incident ray, this is refracted ray, this is the angle of incidence, this is the angle of refraction. Here this R, angle R is less than angle I. The ray bends towards the normal. Why? Because it has to travel with a lesser speed in water but with shorter time. This is the answer of the second part. The refractive index of diamond is 2.42. What is the meaning of this statement? This means simply that the ratio of the speed of light in air and the speed of light in diamond is equal to 2.42. 2.42 is the speed. If I write V, speed in vacuum, say vacuum V, and this is speed in the medium, or you can say diamond, VD. This is 2.42. Name the liquid whose mass density is less than of a water but it is optically denser than water, and the answer is kerosene. An object is placed between infinity and the pole of convex mirror. Draw a ray diagram and also state the position, the relative size and the nature of the image being formed. So this is the scenario. We have placed an object between infinity, this is infinity, and the pole and the pole of the convex mirror. So this is a convex mirror. So one ray will go like this straight. So it has to pass through this F. So it appears to pass through this. One which goes to pole will be, the angle of incidence will be equal to angle of reflection. And we extend these two, and this is the final image. So the position is what? Between the infinity and the pole of the mirror. What is the position of the image? What is the position of the image between P and F? If you see, this is P and F, where this is F and this is P. So between P and F and behind the mirror, this is mirror. So this is behind portion, and since it is virtual, we have, you can say, we have extended these rays, actual rays. It is erect. It is erect. Same way the image was, or the object was, and it is smaller in size, so it is diminished. What is the principle of reversibility of light? Show that the incident ray of light is parallel to the emergent ray of light when the light falls obliquely on a side of rectangular glass slab. So first we will talk about the reversibility of light. See, the final path of the ray of light after reflections or refractions, it is reversed. So the ray retraces its entire path, and this is nothing but the reversibility of light. Let us take the rectangular glass slab. So this is the incident ray. If you see that there is a bending, and this is how the emerging rays come, and this is your incident ray, right? So this is the glass slab. Here it is air, here it is air, and we know from the Snell's law at Q what will happen on the side AB, means this portion and this portion. Sin I, this sin I by sin R will be equal to the mu G, that is glass, by mu A, air. That is some symbols we are using. Now we will apply the Snell's law here. Sin I, this sin R, this is sin R by sin. Now we are talking about DC, this portion. So sin R by sin I will be what? It will be NA by NG, NA by NG. That is, we are talking about now, this is coming out of the glass and coming out from the glass and out in air. This is NGA. And when we see that these N1 QR means N1 and Q and R, and this QR N2, that is QR N2, these two angles, they are equal, right? So if the ray retraces its entire path, that is, then for a reverse ray, what we are going to say? We say that the Ng by Na will be what? Sin E, sin emergent, by sin R, that is R, this R and this is E, this is E. Sin E by sin R, that is A and G. So when we multiply these two, this 3 1 and this 2, right? When multiplying these two, we get sin E by sin R by sin E into sin E by sin R. This symbols we are using. Now we have already seen what these are by ratio. So these two cancelled, and these also will be equal to 1. And because of this, the property, we say refraction of light is reversible. Now if we take 1 and 3, this 3 and this 1, what do we get? We get sin I by sin R equal to sin E by sin R. That means I is equal to E, because sin I equal to sin E. So the incident ray PQ, this PQ, is actually parallel to the emergent ray, which is RS, when the light falls obliquely on a side of rectangular glass slab. With the help of a ray diagram, explain why a convex mirror is preferred for rear view mirrors in motor cars. Why? First is, it is always virtual, the erection is there, and the diminution means the image will be smaller than the main one. That is, the image will be of the size lower than the object. So it always forms virtual, erect and diminished image. The second is, the field of view increases while this convex mirror is used. As you see in this example, this is the field of view which is greatly increased. Okay. What is understood by lateral displacement of light? Illustrate it with help of diagram. List any two factors on which the lateral displacement of a particular substance depends. So the lateral displacement is what? See, if this is the line, and if I draw this line, extend this line, and now this is the refracted light or refracted ray. So there is a shift, and this is nothing but the lateral displacement. So the lateral displacement is the perpendicular distance between the incident ray, if you see here, I extended it, and the emergent ray. So this is the perpendicular distance, it is the lateral displacement, and there is lateral displacement in this diagram is, this is nothing but BL. This is incident, this is, I extended it, and this is emergent. So the distance, say BL, is the lateral displacement. The lateral displacement depends on the thickness of the slab and the incident and the refraction angles. It depends on these three. Draw the ray diagram, also state the position, relative size and the nature of the image formed by a concave mirror when the object is placed between the center of curvature C and focus F. So this is the scenario. The position of the object is between this C and F. This is the position of the object. Okay. Now one ray will go like this, parallel to the axis. It has to pass through F. One will pass through F, that is, it has to be parallel. When it reflects, it has to be parallel, and they intersect like this. So this is the image being formed, A dash B dash. So it is beyond C. The image is formed beyond C, and the nature of image, as you see, is real because of the main rays are forming it. It is inverted, upright position means a reverse position from this, and also enlarged. You see the size is higher than this one. So real, inverted and enlarged image will be formed. If the image formed by a lens is diminished in size and erect for all position of the object, what type of lens is it? The answer is, it is a concave lens. All these properties are with concave lens. Name the point on the lens through which a ray of light passes undeviated, means it will pass. So this is the point. This line is passing undeviated. There is no deviation. So this is the optical center. Now an object is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 20 cm. The distance of the object from the lens is 30 cm. Find the position, the magnification and the nature of the image being formed. So what all are given? U is given as -30, F is 20. We have to use the sign convention which we studied in the theory. So 1 by F equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. This is the formula of the subject, that is the lens we are talking about, convex lens. So 1 by V, we have to find V. So you just put the value, find out V, which is 60 cm. So the image is formed at a distance of 60 cm from the lens on the right side. So what is happening here is, this is the position. It is at 30 cm. One will go like this. It has to pass through F. One which is directly going, it will go undeviated. So this is the image being formed of this object. So what is the magnification? V by U. We know V is 60, U is -30, so it is going to give you -2. That is why the image is inverted and double the size of the object. Minus means it has to be inverted than this, or you can say opposite side of the principal axis, and since it is twice, so the size is twice. What is meant by the power of the lens? The ability of a lens to converge or diverge the ray of light after refraction. This is called the power of the lens, and it is defined as the reciprocal of focal length. So if focal length is F, power will be equal to 1 by F. Again, the ability of lens to converge or diverge, it depends on what lens you are using, concave or convex. So ability of lens to converge or diverge the ray of light after the refraction is called the power of the lens. Now next is state and define the SI unit of power of a lens. So SI unit of power of a lens is diopter. Diopter, the lens of focal length 100 cm has a power of 1 diopter. That is, 1 diopter is equal to 1 per meter, 1 meter inverse. A convex lens of focal length 25 cm and a concave lens of focal length 10 cm are placed in close contact with each other. Calculate the lens power of this combination. So the combination will be simply P1 plus P2. What will be this P1 and P2? So this is 25 and this is 10. We just add them. We have to use this as 25 because this is convex lens, and we always take concave lens as minus. So these are the focal lengths. So we have to use P equal to P1 plus P2, that is 1 by F1 plus 1 by F2. And this has to be taken as negative because it is a concave lens. So 100 by 25, 100 by minus 50, this 100 is to change them in the proper unit. And 4 minus 10, it is minus 6 diopter. Draw a ray diagram to show the formation of image of an object placed between infinity and the optical center of concave lens. So this is the scenario. The image found when the object is at any position between infinity and the optical center. So one will go like this, it is deviated, will extend it. It has to pass through F, which directly passes, it goes undeviated. So this is the image being formed. So what is the position of the image between F and optical center? This is the image. Nature of the image, as you see here, it is virtual, erect and diminished. The second is a concave lens of focal length 15 cm forms an image 10 cm from the lens. We have to calculate the distance of the object from the lens, magnification of the image formed, and the nature of the image being formed. So F is what? Minus 15. This is a concave lens, so we take minus 15, V is minus 10. So we'll use the formula 1 by F equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. Put these values, you get U equal to minus 30. So the object is 30 cm from the concave lens, which is on the left side. What is magnification? Minus 10 by minus 30, which is 1 by 3. So this M becomes positive, so the image is erect. If this V is what? This V is negative. So image is virtual. And at this M is less than 1 by 3 is less than 1, image is smaller or diminished. Under what condition will a glass lens placed in a transparent liquid becomes invisible? So when a refractive index of glass lens become equal to the refractive index of a transparent liquid, then only the glass lens will become invisible. These refractive index has to be, both refractive indexes has to be equal. Then describe and illustrate with diagram how we should arrange two converging lenses so that a parallel beam of light entering one lens emerges as a parallel beam after passing through the second lens. So here the scenario is like this: the parallel beam converges at a focus of the first lens and it emerges parallel as it is at the focus of the second lens. So this is your first lens, these are converging at F, right? Now this has to be the F2 of this lens. So when they go like this, they become parallel. This is F1, this is F2, okay? This is the scenario. An object is placed at a distance of 3 cm from the concave lens of focal length 12 cm. Find the position and the nature of the image being formed. So this is a concave lens, so we take this F equal to minus 12, U equal to minus 3, we use the formula 1 by F equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. You have to find V, put the value, you get U equal to minus 12 by 5. Now since this V is less than 0, the image is going to be virtual, and since this, if you take the, you can say modulus, or you could just ignore the sign, V is less than U, that means the image is diminished. You know this magnification is V by U, so it is this value and this value, you know all these values. It will be 4 by 5, and this M, as you see, it is less than, it is greater than 0. That means in this case M is greater than 0, but if you take the modulus of M, which is 4 by 5, in this case it is less than 1. 4 by 5 is less than 1. So the image is erect and diminished. With the help of a ray diagram, explain why a concave lens diverges the ray of parallel beam of light. So what happens here is, when a parallel beam, these are the parallel beams of light which is incident on the front face of a concave lens. This is a concave lens. Each ray of light will refract towards the normal to the surface as it moves from rarer to the denser medium, because this is rarer medium, this is the denser medium, and travels in a straight line inside the lens until it reaches the back face of the lens. So at the back face here, at back face boundary, this boundary, each ray of light will again refract and bend away from the normal to the surface as it moves from denser to rarer medium, like this. So this course, like this course of ray of light is shown like in this figure. So the second part also we can see that because the concave shape of, that means this shape and this shape of both the faces, the double concave lens diverges the rays of parallel beam of incident light. Now let us take the B part. The B part, let me go through the question for you. A 2 cm tall object is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a concave lens of focal length 15 cm. At what distance from the lens should the object be placed so that it forms an image 10 cm from the lens? Also find the nature and the size of the image being formed. So all these values we write first of all. This h0, that is height of the object, is given 2 because it is a concave lens. So f equal to -15, v equal to -10. Always it is forming a virtual image, so concave lens we take v equal to -10. We use the formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. We need to find out u. Put this value, the u value will be -30. The magnification is simply v by u or h image by h o object. So m will be -10 by -30. These are the value you have to put on these two. So it is 1 by 3, which is less than 1. And what will you get from this equation? Height of the image, 2 into -10 by -30, that is 2 by 3. So you see here the image is virtual, erect and diminished. List 4 properties of the image found by plane mirror. So plane mirror, the properties of image being formed by plane mirror. It is always virtual and erect. The size is equal to the object, that is hi will be equal to ho. It is formed at the same distance behind the mirror as the object is in the front of the mirror, u equal to v. It is laterally inverted. Laterally inverted means if this is the object, this will be the image. List 4 properties of the image formed by convex mirror. Convex mirror. So the properties of image formed by convex mirror. First of all, it is always formed behind the mirror. Behind the mirror. And between the pole and the focus. It is always virtual and erect. And its size is always smaller than the object. And magnification is always positive. List 4 properties of image formed by concave mirror when object is placed between the focus and the pole of the mirror. So what happens here is the image is formed behind the mirror. It is enlarged, that means higher than the size of the image object. The image will be higher, that is it is magnified. It is virtual and erect. To instruct a ray diagram, we use 2 light rays which are so chosen that it is easy to know their directions after refraction from the lens. List these 2 rays and state the path of these rays after refraction. Use these 2 rays to locate the image of the object placed between f and 2f of a convex lens. So the question says to instruct a 2-ray diagram, we use 2 light rays. So 2 rays chosen for this refraction is a ray which is parallel. If this is the principal axis, the ray one is the ray which is this. If this is principal axis, it is parallel to the principal axis, and a ray which is passing through the optical center of the lens. So if this is the lens, one should pass through the optical center. Why? Because a ray which is parallel to this principal axis is going to pass through the focus, and the ray which is passing through the optical center will go directly, means it will not deviate. So the path of these rays after refraction, in case of a convex lens, as you see here, the first ray will pass through the principal focus on the other side of the lens here. In case of concave lens, the first ray will appear to diverge, because in convex lens it is going to go away from it. So it appears that it will be appear to diverge, or you can say it appear to come from the principal focus, which is positioned on the same side of the object. The second ray emerge from the lens. The second ray emerge from the lens without any deviation. You see here example is there. There is no deviation because it is passing through the optical center of a lens. State the type of mirror preferred as rear view mirror in vehicles. A shaving mirror. Justify your answer giving 2 reasons in each case. This is the second part. So in the first case, rear view mirror in vehicles, we use convex mirror. Shaving mirror, we use concave mirror. Justification is that this convex mirror is used as a rear view mirror. It gives a wider field of view as it is curved towards, or you can say curved outwards. Okay, that is why. And then it produces erect and diminished image of the traffic behind the driver of the vehicle. So you are able to see to a larger distance, and most of the things you can see from your rear view mirror. The second answer we gave was concave mirror. Why? Shaving mirror. We need to see the larger size image of the face. So when the object lies in between pole and focus, a principal focus of the concave mirror, it forms a virtual, erect and enlarged image behind it. The image of a candle flame placed at a distance of 45 cm from a spherical lens is formed on a screen placed at a distance of 90 cm from the lens. Identify the type of lens and calculate the focal length f. If the height of the flame is 2 cm, find the height of its image. So the nature of spherical lens is given as convex lens. We have to find out the nature. So by the question it is clear that the nature of spherical lens is convex lens. So we will use the convention. U is minus 45 cm, V is 90 cm, and this height of the flame, or the HI you can say, height of the image or first object, is given as 2 cm. So we'll take it as plus 2. Now we'll use the lens formula. We know the lens formula is 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. We'll put the value with the signs. F will come as plus 30 cm. So the focal length of convex lens is 30 cm. Also we know that the magnification is h2 by h1, that is v by u, and h2 can be found out by putting vu and h1, which we know already by this calculation. So it will be minus 4 cm. So the height of the image, this is height of the image, this is height of the image, and this is the height of the object. So height of the image is 4 cm. What is this negative sign indicating? It is indicating that it is formed below the principal axis. A 4 cm tall object is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 24 cm. The distance of the object from the lens is 16 cm. Find the position, size and nature of the image being formed using the lens formula. So what all is given? For a convex lens, we know f we take as positive, u as negative by convention, and we use the lens formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. We put these two value in order to find v. So v is minus 48 cm after this calculation. Now the question says the object HO is 4 cm. So we take it as H1. You can take it as HO also as 4 cm. Magnification is given by H2 by H1, which is equal to V by U. So in order to find H2, take it here. We know all the values. It will be plus 12 cm. So position of the image is formed at 48 cm from the optical center of the lens on the same side of the object. Why? It is indicated by the negative sign. The size of the image, it is 3 times. The initial was 4 and the final was 12. That is 4 into 3. So it is 3 times the size of the object, 12 centimeter. And what is the nature of the image? The positive sign of in the image height indicates the image is virtual and it is erect. Name the type of mirror used in the following situations: headlights of a car, rear view mirror of the vehicle, solar furnace. Support your answer with reason. So we have already discussed this, but we'll go through it again. Headlights of a car, concave mirror. Concave mirror is used. Why? Because light of the bulb placed at the focus of it gets reflected and it produces more powerful parallel beam of light in order to illuminate the road so that the driver can see properly. The rear view, the view of the back or of the rear view back of the vehicles. So rear view mirror of vehicles, we use convex mirror. So this convex mirror is used because it always produces a virtual and erect image, which is actually smaller in size than the object. So it enables the driver to see wide field view of the traffic behind the vehicle in a small mirror. Solar furnace, we use concave mirror because this mirror, concave mirror, has the property to concentrate the sunlight which is coming from sun along with the heat radiation at its focus, and because of which the temperature at its focus will increase and the substance which is placed at the focal point, it gets heated to a high temperature. A 6 cm tall object is placed perpendicular to the principal axis of a convex lens of focal length 15 cm. The distance of the object from the lens is 10 cm. Find the position, size and nature of the image being formed using the lens formula. So for a convex lens, in this question the f is 15 cm plus u is minus 10. Now lens formula 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. Put the values, you find v as negative minus 30. So here it shows that the image is formed on the same side of the object at a distance of 30 cm from the optical center of the lens, and this negative sign is indicating the image is virtual. Now one more thing is given, the HO, we take it as H1, which is given as plus 6 cm. So H1 is plus 6 cm, and by using the formula which is magnification H2 by H1, which is HO by HI is V by U, H2 can be found out using this formula, and we know V, U and H1 already. It is 18 cm. So image is 3 times larger than the size of object, which is 18. If you see, 6 into 3 is 18. 3 times. The positive sign what indicates? It indicates that the image is erect. List the sign convention for reflection of light by spherical mirrors. Draw a diagram and apply these conventions in the determination of focal length of a spherical mirror which forms 3 times magnified real image of an object placed 16 cm in front of it. So what are the sign convention for reflection of light by a spherical mirror? The object is always placed, if this is a mirror say, the object is placed always on the left side of the mirror. This is the left hand side, this is the right hand side. All the distance parallel to the principal axis are always measured from the pole of the spherical mirror. From the pole of the spherical mirror. All the distance measured along the direction of incident light, that is along positive x-axis, these are considered to be positive. Those distance which are measured opposite to the direction of incident light, that is, this is the incident light. If we measure like this, like all the distance which are measured along the direction of incident axis, positive, and those measured opposite to the direction of incident axis, that is along this negative x-axis, these are taken as negative. The distance measured is upward direction, that is in this direction, perpendicular to the to and above the principal axis. This is the principal axis above, along the positive y-axis you can say. These are taken as positive. And the distance measured in the downward direction like this, along negative y-axis, that is perpendicular to and below the principal axis, these are taken as negative. And since we have various things apart from this in this question, 16 centimeter, 3 times magnification. So in the question it is given that m is -3, u is -16. As per the question, we have used the proper sign convention. The magnification is given by -v by u. So this m is given, u is given, we can find out v, which is -48 centimeter. And now the mirror formula is 1 by f equal to 1 by v plus 1 by u. Put these two values, we get f equal to -12 centimeter. So the focal length of the spherical mirror is 12 centimeter. The negative sign of the focal length, it indicates the mirror is concave. This is concave in nature. If you see, this is the object. One we pass through focus. One going straight is going to pass through the C. This is A dash B dash. So this distance is 16. This is 12. And from this point to this point, it is 48 centimeter. State the law of refraction of light that defines the refractive index of a medium with respect to the other. Express it mathematically. How is this refractive index of any medium A with respect to medium B related to the speed of propagation of light in two medium or two media A and B? State the name of this constant when one medium is vacuum or air. The refractive indices of glass and water with respect to vacuum are 3 by 2 and 4 by 3. Now the speed of the light in glass is this much, 2 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Find the speed of light in vacuum and water. So we'll start. The first thing is Snell's law, the law of refraction, which relates to the refractive index. So the ratio of sine angle of incidence, sine I, to the sine of angle of refraction, sine R, sine I by sine R, is always constant for the light of a given color and for the given pair of media. So this n21 you can say, or mu you can say, this is called the refractive index of the medium 2 with respect to the 1. 2 with respect to the 1 means second medium with respect to the first medium. So refractive index of medium A with respect to medium B is represented by NAB. NAB is given by the speed of the light in medium B, this one, divided by speed of light in medium A, which is VB by VA. Now if one medium is say vacuum or air, then the refractive index of the second medium with respect to vacuum or air is called the absolute refractive index of the medium, which is, this is just a symbol, in the various books it is given in different way. So here we take NM, M is the subscript. So speed of light in air or vacuum by speed of light in medium. So C is the speed of light in air or vacuum, V is the speed of light in medium. Now as per the question, in the question, it is given glass and water, and it is given 3 by 2, 4 by 3, and speed of light in that medium is also given. So we take this mu g or ng for glass 3 by 2, and W is water 4 by 3. This Vg, that is velocity of the light in this glass, is 2 into 10 to the power 8. We have to find out Vw, what is the velocity in this medium, and C also. So we know that this Ng is 3 by 2, and we can equate it with 3 by V. This V is known to us, C can be found out, 3 into 10 to the power 8. Now we know now this speed of light in vacuum, so Nw is given by C by Vw. This is already known, this is we found out, and Vw we have to find out. So this comes to be the speed of light in water as 2.25 into 10 to the power 8. To construct a ray diagram, we use two light rays which are so chosen that it is easy to know their directions after reflection from the mirror. List these two rays and state the path of these rays after reflection. Use these rays to locate the image of the object placed between the center of the curvature and the focus of a concave mirror. So the ray we choose, we have already seen this type of question. So one is the ray which is parallel, this is parallel to the principal axis, this one, and a ray which is passing through the center of curvature of a concave mirror. So if it is passing through center of curvature, it is going to come back without deviating. So one which is parallel, it is going to come from the focus, and when they intersect, this is your image. So path of these rays, as you see here, after reflection, the first ray through the principal focus of a concave mirror or appear to diverge in case of a convex mirror, and after reflection, the second ray is reflected, this ray will reflected back along the same path. List the sign convention that are followed in case of refraction of light through spherical lenses. Draw a diagram and apply these conventions in determining the nature of focal length of a spherical lens, which forms 3 times magnified real image of an object which is placed 16 cm from the lens. So we know that the sign conventions we have already seen about the mirror. The question has already come. Now the question can come like this: spherical lens. So the object, if this is a lens, say, let us take an example of a convex lens. The object always is placed on the left, this side. This is the left hand side, this is the right hand side. Always placed in the left of the lens so that the incident light moves from left to right, like this. All distances are measured from the optical center of the lens. This is the optical center. The distance measured in the direction of incident light, that is along positive, say, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. This is positive x-axis, this is minus, or you can negative x-axis. This is positive y and this is negative y. So the distance measured in the direction of incident light along say positive axis will be taken as positive. Those measured to the left of the origin, that is along this direction, will be taken as negative. All measurement of height above the principal axis in this direction will be considered as positive, and those below along negative y-axis will be taken as negative. Now let us come to the question. In this, as the sign convention we have discussed, u is minus 16, m is minus 3. M is given by v by u, so u is known to us and m is minus 3, so v comes 48 centimeter. Now we can use the lens formula. 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So these are known to us now. F can be found out, it is plus 12 centimeter. So the focal length of this given spherical lens is 12 centimeter, and this positive sign of the focal length, it shows that the nature of spherical lens is convex. So this is the ray diagram. One goes like this. It will pass through F, which is going through optical center, will pass directly, is without deviation. So this is the final image. Focal length is 12, u is 16 and v is 48. So these are the question and answer which have come in board for this topic. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself.